G'day and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Ideas Man. I'm hoping this one is really fast. I don't have a lot to say. I'll start with, what's this then? If anyone, and there are a few I know, that saw the fully charged live show review that I did 10 months ago, you'll know that it's how I started the video. This is going to be raw because I'm not thinking straight, and I'm going to probably leave all the pregnant pauses in it. I can't even be bothered editing them out. At 70-year-old, I'm beginning to take my time between words. It's just something that's happened in the last few years. I used to be pretty fluent when I spoke. I must admit I'm even worse when I'm talking to a computer screen. In any case, I just thought I'd make a little report since I made a report last time. A couple of people saw it. There will be other reports and you'll be able to see videos of what went on inside. As for this one, you won't, because I don't think I videoed a thing. I never got the phone out once, and I don't have professional video equipment either. In either case, I just thought I'd let you know how the show went second time around. As I put in the thumbnail, it has changed to everything electric. How do I get that? There we go. Everything electric. As you can see in the brochure, this is that's the new venue, and I can't get that in. Wait a sec. Yep. I sit back, reclined comfortably to make the video, and I can't even use the brochure as a prop. Oh well, I'll make this short for you. What I decided to do was take a couple of friends from Adelaide, those who I'd visited in my BYD Atto 3 a few months back. I thought I would take them down and show them this Everything Electric show, because they, on the next day, were getting on a cruise. And since they are retired, I invited them to come up to Brisbane for a week prior and then travel down with us to experience EV long-range touring. I thought after about 4 months that the infrastructure from Brisbane to Sydney would have improved, and it hasn't. But I'll leave that to another video. I'll actually do a follow-up video for the Atto 3 drive that I did, and this one will be on going down to Brisbane, Sydney and Wollongong, and putting in the Everything Electric show as one reason to go, and of course the cruise for my friends as another reason to go. Anyway, enough of that. You can see I can't even... Oh, hang a sec. I think I'll pause here. Okay, I think I'll resume here. Not looking at myself, but I've got this lovely backdrop, which is an advertisement for the Everything Electric show. That's Jack, Scarlett and Imogen somebody, who are reporters for Fully Charged. So, here we go with the review. That very blue Ioniq 5N was one reason why I wanted to go back a second year to go and see this Everything Electric show. There were 5 of them for test drives, and I was waiting first in line to get in so that I could get straight to the booking desk at the opposite end of the show and be in line to test drive this car. I'm a bit of a nut when it comes to any cars, be it petrol or EV, it doesn't matter. And I wanted to test drive this car. First things first, kudos to Hyundai, who did a great job of providing not only a lot of cars, but 5 Ioniq 5Ns. So there was no waiting for me once I got to book. It was a half-hour wait for them to get arranged themselves. They were late, but I wasn't waiting in a line. I was front of the line to test drive this car. I give recognition where recognition is deserved, and Hyundai deserve recognition for the effort they put in providing cars to test drive. As I ran through the door, I saw Jack Scarlett greeting us at the start. There was a little spiel from, what's his name? Rob Llewellyn. So I had to put up with that. But then I hustled past Jack. He said hello, and I just said, love your work, and headed straight for the Hyundai stand. That's the last I saw of any of these commentators or staff. After that, I test drove a Peugeot E2008 and just looked around at cars mainly. Wasn't too interested in what other little displays they had. Certainly wasn't everything electric. Like Jack mentions in this video, you won't get a toaster, you won't get any electric items. It really was cars and chargers and a few uninteresting things like, I guess, government, I don't know what they call them, stalls. Government little stalls and rubbish stuff that was strewn around the showground floor. I didn't mind it. It wasn't great, but I didn't mind it. What I didn't like about the test drive was that almost all of the track had a maximum speed of 30 kilometres per hour. For anybody American, um, a man on a bicycle could ride past you quite easily. It is that slow. What is it? 19 miles per hour, no more than that. I'm mentally trying to just make a conversion. About 19 miles an hour. It was the maximum speed for most of the, probably wouldn't have been 15-minute drive. Other than that, there was a small part that was 60 kilometres per hour. So it was pretty frustrating trying to drive a car that could outperform most Ferraris on such a slow test track. Nevertheless, I had a little drive, and that was the pretty much highlight of the show for me. What else can I say? Crowds were down. When I went last year, crowds were probably twice as much on the day that I went. Of course, there are 2 days later that I didn't go, but crowds were down. I didn't even bother to watch any of the talk fests because when I watched a few the last time, I actually knew more than what they were saying, and it was downright boring. And so I just walked past these talk fests and it looked just as boring. The difference is crowds were way down because I, last year, would sometimes have to hunt around for a seat. This time, 70% of the seating was bare. There weren't too many people interested in the talk fests either. But as I said, crowds were down also. Well, I'm really running out of things to say. If it comes next year, I might make another trip, but next time the BYD 803 will be staying in the garage and I'll be flying down and renting a car like I did last year. But we did spend a few extra days with our friends before we put them on a train to the cruise ship port. And next year I might spend a few days looking around at other places to sightsee. I'll make my video about how the atrocious drive there and back went. include the touring aspect of the past week. I really can't. Oh, yes, I was going to say, I really can't think of anything else to say. One thing I remember, I went to that Sunracer stall, the one where the cretin from AOC said that Aptera is like this car, and these people were getting great results with a particular category in the solar challenge that Australia has from Darwin to Adelaide. In any case, I looked at this car and I talked to three people on the stand, and they were all pretty blank faced when I wanted to talk to them about Aptera. They had very little idea of what it was about, and they really couldn't care less. So that was a bit of a fizzer. I couldn't even engage a conversation with them. So I'll leave it at that. You can enjoy a day out there if there's not a lot you've seen. Oh, this is how bad my mind is. I should say that while they concentrated on EVs, I was disappointed in the number of EVs that weren't there. Most of the EVs that were on display, you could go to the dealership and probably have a better test ride or drive from the dealership than trying to arrange those few that were test drivable from the show. There wasn't much in the way of EVs that I would like to have seen. In particular, I missed seeing the Volvo EX30. I wanted to really investigate what that was like in the flesh. No EX30, but it went to many other models that there weren't at the show. So while they say they've got a great selection of cars, I think for a show that really specialised in the EVs more than anything else, it wasn't that great a selection. And as I said, I can just duck around to local dealerships in Brisbane here, test drive them, and do better that way. So that will be it for me. I know, you'd rather see videos of it. I'm sure if you search on YouTube for videos about this event, you will see quite a few, except maybe from John Cadogan. But you will get people like Ludicrous Feed and, obviously, what's that Viking? The electric Viking, Sam Evans. He might put one out. Search for him and have a look at what there is on video and have a listen to how well they talk it up. That's all from me. Bye for now. Stay safe.